Hi there my scrappy friends, it is Melinda and welcome to my channel today. As you can see, today I have a share for Scrapping Clearly and it is this art journal page. Scrapping Clearly recently celebrated their 10th birthday, which is awesome, so happy birthday once again Scrapping Clearly. And we did a few challenges. I am playing along with one of them today and it was Scrap or Art Journal 10 of your favourite things. When I started this, I had no idea what 10 things I was going to pick. So I just started playing with colours. I've recently purchased these beautiful new, what are they called, Dylusions paints from the store. And I just wanted to play with them. So I pulled out some pink colours. And I've used Rose Quartz as the lightest, which is I think that one that I'm using again now. Peony Blush, I hope I didn't just butcher that name, but I'm not a gardener by any stretch of the imagination. And Bubblegum Pink is the darkest colour that I'm using. So as you can see, I am just literally smudging colour on, using my brayer to spread it around. When I recently took some art journal classes, these were some of the awesome tips I picked up. And I've just been having fun playing. Now, as you can see, the colours here are really quite bold, and I kind of looked at it and went, oh, what have I done? Okay, that's all right, we'll work with what I've got. So I decided to move on to my next step, which was this stencil and the White Linen Dylusions paint with an old makeup sponge. It's not an old one, it's a cheap one. And I'm just applying some colour, well, it's not colour, it's white. Some of that paint through the stencil, just randomly across the page. Like I said, at this point I had no idea where I was going with this, what I was going to put on the page or anything. I just wanted to play with some product. So I kind of went, oh, that colour's so bold, what am I going to do? So I decided to add a bit more white around the edges. And then I kind of went, oh, I'll add some white here where it's really dark. And I'm just using my finger and a combination of my finger and a makeup sponge. And so I kind of went, oh, I really like what that white does to these areas. And I leave that to dry and then I come in with some stamps. I'm using, I think that's Watering Can Archival ink. And this is the Gabby's Stitched Lines stamp set, one of my absolute all-time favourites. But I did decide that for this particular page I was going to use stamps that I hadn't yet used. So I'm just doing some random stamping, still with no idea where the page was going, so I just decided to go along the top left corner and the bottom right corner and just stamping off till there's no ink left on the stamps. Pretty sure I come in with some more stamping in a second. Yep, so I've got this. It's called Arty Circles and it is by Darkroom Door. And again, this one I'm using my black archival ink and I am just stamping all over the page. You'll have to excuse my voice and my sniffing. I'm trying not to. I have picked up a cold and it's well and truly set in. I'm using again my black archival ink and this Arrows stamp set, and I'm just going to stamp two of those big arrows. Aren't they beautiful? One again in the top left and one in the bottom right. And at this point I decided that pink was way too harsh, so I grabbed my makeup sponge and I am literally just smearing colour over the top. I have Michelle Grant's words ringing through my head: you are only ever one layer of gesso away from, what does she say? One layer away from a finished project, and if you hate it, you're only one layer away from not hating it, kind of thing. So instead of gesso, I've used my white linen paint, and I've just gone over the majority of that background, but left those two corners so they're quite, well, compared to the rest of the page, quite bold. And I really like that you can still see all of the details through that paint. Dry that off quickly, and I'm going to come in with another stencil. This is one of the mini layering stencils, and I'm using my Colour Blast colour paste in Dusty Charcoal. which is not quite black, it's a very dark grey. And because this is a top 10 page, I knew I was going to do some sort of list, so I just went with the numbers along the bottom of that stencil, which has all the alphabet and then the numbers. And then I thought I'd add some more layers. I grabbed this book paper and I've randomly cut out some circles. I've just laid them across the page with some going off the page. They're all different sizes, and I'm just going to put them where I think they look good enough. Using some matte medium to stick everything down, and straight at the top as well, just to give that paper a bit more, just to protect it a little bit more. So I've sped this bit up. I'm just moving them around, gluing them down. The only thing I was particular about with this was making sure that all the text was going the same way, which was the right way. So yeah, I just, for some reason, it mattered to me, so I just ran with it. It's my circles all done. I've waited for them to dry. I've trimmed off the edges, and I've grabbed this. I don't know how to call it, but it's an all black Stabilo pencil, and you can activate it with water. So to start with, I thought I'd just run a few messy circles around my circles and leave them be. But you'll see in a sec, I actually grab a fine paintbrush and blend them out a little bit. I think. Where am I? Okay, so I'm just grabbing my really small paintbrush and just blending those circles out a little bit. Making the circles a bit messy as well, just to add to the arty, messy art journalness of the page. And I end up going over the edge of all of the circles as well and blending it in just a little bit. Again, I've sped this up super fast. So then I grab the same paintbrush and my pencil and just flick from the end and get little black splatters all over the background. Give that a quick try, and I'm using my finger to smudge some of the colour around in some of the places. Making sure that's all dry before I move on to my next step. This is where I grab the white linen paint again, and I just go over, I think I end up doing half of the circles. And I really like, I don't know, it all just seems to kind of blend a little bit better. And because the pencil was on the bits of paper as well, it's picked up, the white paint has picked up some of that colour and tinted it grey. I really love what happened. So I'm putting the top part of my title at the top, and it's top 10, and then I decided I was going to go with movies. So I am just spelling that out with these beautiful gold thickers that are available in the store. Oh, I decided I needed some more gold, and I grabbed another one of these tiny layering stencils, grab my Colour Blast Bling colour paste, and I'm again just adding a little bit of detail going around those circles and kind of trying to make it a bit random. I really love that little detail it gives. This stencil came in a pack of 3 and I was kind of like, oh yeah, you know, I really love the other 2. And then when I used it this time, I was like, oh, I really love this stencil. Wow, I love it. So I decided I was going to do the titles of all of my movies with my Dymo labeler. You can see I've got a long strip there. I'm just going to cut them up. And I use my hot glue gun to glue them down. You will have probably noticed that in the close-ups it looks different. So you can see straight away that that one down the bottom does not want to stick. For some reason my labeler does not give me a super clear impression all the time. And I think using the hot glue kind of melted the letters a bit. So I've used my hot glue here and stuck them all down. And then I've grabbed these little bottles of Awesomeness. Got those from Natalie May. And I'm just doing some scribbles. I've got the black and the white, and I think that coming to the white, yeah. Add a few words like really messy in the circles and add a few extra details, some dots, some squiggles. So I'm just going around adding some extra little dot details. It just like lifts the whole page. Really love the effect it gives. And at this point I just kind of go, you know what, I'm just going to add a bit more because why not? And I just decide to scribble. It's exactly what I'm doing, scribbling. No rhyme, no reason. I just kind of went, oh, I'll have a bit there. Oh, I'll put a bit there. Yep, I'll put a bit more there too. And I really, really love the effect that it gives. So that is it. As you can see, I have changed the titles of the movies. I printed it on my computer and attached my printer paper to some cardstock, in the edges and stuck them down. My list of 10 favourite movies, if you're interested, is Moana, My Girl, The Polar Express, Sex and the City, Interview with the Vampire, Rise of the Guardians, The Craft, all of the Harry Potters, Beauty and the Beast, and Frozen. A good mix of grown-up and kid movies. So that's it for me today. Thank you ever so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate the time that you take to watch my videos, like and comment. Welcome to all my new subbies, and I will speak to you again soon. Have a fantastic day. Bye.